influences.
Yeah. No, but it's nice. It's fascinating. You learn another aspect of life. I only look at it that way. So it's something really interesting. Man lernt was Neues. We live with it, so why not learn about it? You are what you are, and you are what you make of yourself, not what others make of you. So it's as simple as that. I mean, I follow that philosophy. Where is my screen? Now. Mein Gott, so langsam ist das. So, Fragen to start with. Gibt es Fragen? Habt ihr Fragen zu der gestrigen Übung? Alles will gelernt sein. Do you have any question to that? Oh, das ist das falsche Buch. Mein Gott, ich hab's falsch hier. So, even I was confused. What is this word here? So, einen kleinen Moment. Ja.
So jemand muss einen Satz machen mit diesem Wort.
Welches
Das
Wort?
war unsere gestern so mit Infinitiv, mit Verben, so das war das Thema gestern. Wir haben schon gelernt.
Ja, and you saw how it is being used? Immer wenn ein Sein plus Adjektiv comes in, da kann man auch zu plus Infinitiv benutzen. Go by those basic simple sentences, simple rules there. So, das war 68. Okay, das ist schon vorbei. Was haben wir gemacht? Ja. Wir waren hier. Nee, auch nicht hier. Ja, eben. Da waren wir. So, alles will gelernt sein. Was für welcher Typ wir sind, haben wir auch gestern analysiert. Und wir haben herausgefunden, dass wir alle sind sehr ordentlich. Einige Perfektionisten gibt es hier, weniger ist mehr, und es gibt auch einige Kreative. Aber keinen Hochstapler haben wir. Ja, und kein praktischer Typ auch. So, wer ist das? Das ist wahrscheinlich Tiet, nehme ich an. Wo ist Tiet? Er hat geklingelt.
Er war da.
Das ist Monika. Monika hat geklingelt. Sie hat geläutet.
Tiet war da.
Ja, der kommt wahrscheinlich. Es hat wieder geläutet. Läuten, you understand the word läuten? Eine Glocke in der Kirche läutet. Was ist eine Glocke?
Bell.
Bell. Und läuten?
Klingt.
Die Glocke läutet, ja?
Klingt.
No,
Ring.
the bell doesn't ring. The bell rings.
No.
Aber
auf Deutsch ist klingen.
Klingeln is a milder sound. It is a tinkling sound. Whereas läuten is louder. L-A umlaut, U-T-E-N. Die Glocke läutet.
Okay.
Yeah, this is ein anderes Verb. Klingeln ist die Türklingel. The doorbell, that is klingeln.
Ja, benutzen
Ja,
wir nur Klingen, ja.
ja. Also das ist für die Tür eigentlich. Aber die Glocke in der Kirche, das läutet. Also das ist etwas, das ich sehr, sehr gern habe. I love the sound of church bells. There's a particular tone to them. And just let me check. There's something wrong with my stability. So I only hope it doesn't suddenly disappear. And yeah. Alles okay, in Ordnung. Now, look at some of the options. Also einige Optionen haben wir zum Studium und Lernen und sich zu qualifizieren in Deutschland. Es sind einige, es gibt auch viele andere. So, das System in Deutschland, das Schulsystem in Deutschland ist ganz anders als das System vor allem in unserem Land, vor allem in Indien. Es ist ganz anders. Auch in England ist es anders. So, für die meisten Wörter, die wir mit dem Schulsystem verbinden können, haben wir leider keine Äquivalenz. The words which are associated with the school system in Germany, unfortunately, we do not have equivalent words for those in our language. And our language means English, basically.
Keine Equivalence. What is the
No,
word?
no
Was no, but
equivalent.
What is the word?
Equivalent.
Equivalent.
A umlaut. Equivalent. Yeah? So this is because the system is different. Und wir in Indien haben das englische Bildungssystem übernommen. We have taken that system here. And we use this system to, with slight modifications, we use this system today. So when you look at the German educational system, it's totally different. Now I'll show you that here, mit einem Grafik. Go with images. Just a brief introduction. Huh? Ganz kurz ist das. So let's see where it works. Which one works? Athena, Aachen. Yeah, this should work. Let me check. We can discuss this some other time in detail, but I just want you to have an idea, damit wir den Text hier verstehen. I'm looking for a particular diagram. The rest you people can look up at home. Yeah, it's a very, very fascinating system. And if many of you have children going to school now in India, you must have realized that lots of things have changed here. The BA will be of 4 years now, MA of 1 year under the new policy. That is a problem here. The problem here, I need that age part that is not showing up.
Is there any specific reason to make this undergraduation as for 4 years?
Yeah, very much.
Like engineering?
You want me to say that on record?
No, I don't want to complicate others.
Think political, you'll know why.
Okay.
I'm not in favor of it. Yeah, this we can use. How can you have a postgraduate of 1 year, Vasu?
I'm not talking about post graduation. I'm talking about graduation 4 years. Why do you need 4 years?
Yeah, but that means 4 years of graduation, undergraduate, and then 1 year postgraduate.
But in India,
That's it.
most of the people they
That's it.
stop with graduation.
So that's not the reason. Okay, anyway, leave it out for the moment. So here, slightly old now, but will do. Also, das ist eine Klassenstufe, also 12. Klasse. Das war 13 früher. Earlier it used to be 13. I think it is still 13 in a few states. All of them have not moved to the 12 class system in Germany. Earlier it used to be 13 years of schooling. Schooling starts, compulsory schooling starts at the age of 6. So that is here. Class 1, at the age of 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, you finish school. Earlier it was 18. Okay. Now, when you look at this here, basic schooling is compulsory. No excuses. Every child above 6 and above has to go to school. This is a federal law, Bundesgesetz. Whether you are a foreigner or a local, your child has to go to school. Normally, I think 6 months, if you're staying for more than 6 months, that's when the law comes into force. Okay, leave that out. Now, Grundschule for 4 Jahre, 6, 7, 8, 9. At the age of 9, you leave your Grundschule. At the age of 10, you enter the real school, so to speak. This real school is again further subdivided into 4 different schooling systems. Also, Gesamtschule, Hauptschule, Realschule und Gymnasium. This is a tricky one because it's very difficult to find equivalents for this in English. The English system is different. So it's very different. Now, this gymnasium here, don't confuse it with the gymnasium. This has nothing to do with the gymnasium. This gymnasium that is here, there is a better one. Is this clear picture, by the way?
Yeah, Fiamish, yeah, yes, pass with me.
Yeah.
While,
Is it okay with everyone, or should I?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I don't need to use cells, no? Okay. So this gymnasium is the one for the brainy lot, so to speak. I'm keeping it simple. For the people who have brains is gymnasium. How do you know you are a brainy person, or your child is a brainy person, or your nephew, niece, or whoever is a brainy person? There are 2 years of Orientierungsstufe. Yeah. This Orientierungsstufe, it's not given here anyway. This Orientierungsstufe is where the child, in harmony with the parents and the school counselor, decides whether he or she is cut out for academics or basic academics and get into a job. Many of them, they go through the Haupt and the Gesamtschule, because here you have the option of leaving it at this age. Class 9, you can leave your school. Finish your Hauptschulabschluss, and from Hauptschulabschluss, you can go into a vocational school, Berufsschule. Then there is also the Realschule, which allows you to be at school for 1 more year. Then you do your Realschulabschluss. See this arrow either here with Hauptschule here. Just 9 before 10, and this is at 10, Realschulabschluss. And then get into a Berufsbildende Schule or a Berufsschule. The Gymnasium puts you through school till 12. At class 12, you write the Abitur. This is like our board exams. It's a pretty tough exam, by the way. Pretty tough. It's a board exam, state exam, total, actually national exam in a way. And this Abitur enables you to get into an academic line of study, PhDs and research and so on and so on and so on. That does not mean that the others cannot follow this. You left school at this age, at this level, or some have left at this level. Such people then have this option of going through a zweiter Bildungsweg, the second educational path, so to speak. That means they can rejoin school later on in life and rejoin school at the same point where they stopped when they were younger. So they also have this opportunity of rejoining and completing and going to the Abitur. I personally feel this is a wonderful option.
So what is Sekundarschule?
It's kind of secondary school. Sekundarstufe. There's no Schule here, no? That's in the middle you're talking of. So it's,
Yes,
it's an intermediate stage between the two. This Orientierung.
So there are 5 options.
Yeah, you can move from here to here. You can move anytime from any one of these to the other. Let's say you joined the gymnasium here at this age, class 5. At class 5, you joined the gymnasium. You suddenly realize that academics is not for you. I don't know what 2 plus 2 is. I don't want to know what 2 plus 2 is. So you move. Move from here to here, Hauptschule. You don't lose anything. Only the syllabus is not as strict on as intensive as in the gymnasium. You don't lose anything at all. So to put it in a nutshell, very briefly, schooling in Germany, I love the system, is totally learner-oriented as to what a child needs, basically, and not government-oriented, who decide, we will teach this. We will have this many classes. We will do this.
But if I understand, Finland system is loved by everyone, number 1 in the world. Am I right?
That is because of the methodology, basically, of teaching that. It's a fascinating thing. Okay. This is hands-on experience. There's also the kindergarten before this, which is not compulsory. That's not compulsory.
Yeah, Kita, of course, it's costly also.
Yeah, most of it is funded either by private organizations, churches, NGOs. But by and large, now there's a nominal fee charged by universities and colleges. Bildung ist kostenlos. Schooling is, it doesn't charge anything.
Now people are insisting, and the first state, Baden-Württemberg, going to implement this.
Yes, I think it's already been done in the north.
No, I heard Baden-Württemberg is going to implement. Unless otherwise we had our Niederlassungs, then we are also supposed to pay foreigners.
Yeah. They wanted that now, that fee. They said nominal fee. Ich weiß nicht, was bedeutet denn nominal fee?
Ja, zum Beispiel für meine ältere Sohn, ich bezahle 300 Euro pro Semester.
There you are. That's a nominal fee then.
Yeah.
Earlier it was Kleingeld, also kostenlos, including college education. But now they've decided that they're going to charge a fee. So as you see here, this is the Primärstufe, primary school, and this is called the Sekundärstufe. Sekundärstufe 1 till this level. Although if you match it, this is where it comes. So your Gesamtschule, there are again options. This is a comprehensive school. So when you come to the Gesamtschule, you have an option of leaving here. You have an option of leaving school here. Or you continue and you go into the Abitur. So at class 9, you leave school, get into a Berufsschule. Or you try to leave it at class 10. Or you finish the remaining 2 and then get out at class 12 through the Abitur. Apart from this, there are also Sonderschulen, special schools, for people who are differently abled. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, behindert Kinder.
Yeah, so they are special schools there. They also go through a syllabus of learning. Then those who are mentally challenged, for them the educational system comes with a small difference, but they are also taught life skills. They may not be taught A plus B whole square and so on and so forth, but definitely an other type of system also broadly falling under education. And it's a very, very strict system and monitored also, periodically monitored. So what they also have is Fachschulen, Fachhochschulen, Berufsoberschulen, solche Begriffe here. If you look at this here, the definition here. And if you look at Berufsoberschule, this is a Berufsoberschule. They are given specialized knowledge depending on the kind of berufliche Orientierung die haben. Then there are Handelsschule, business schools, and also what many of you may have heard of, Fachhochschule. This is on par with the Universität, and normally a Fachhochschule, after you finish your so-called graduation, gives you a diploma, whereas a Universität will give you a degree. They are on par with each other. So don't think a diploma or diploma, as it is translated popularly in India, is lower in value and in academics than a degree. Our system is different. We are following the legacy of what British left us. And we have been tweaking that as in how the powers that run the show are inclined to. Right? And then one more misconception I would like to clear up from, I think here, mehrere Informationen können wir auch dann später von Vasu bekommen oder auch Monika und Priyambada. Why is education in Germany so highly valued and placed on a high pedestal? Ganz einfach. Wo ist denn das? Nein, Moment. Warum? Ganz einfach. Wir nennen und wir sprechen auch von der Stufung der Universitäten. Also welche Universität ist am besten und welche nicht so gut. Also sowas persönlich gesagt, das ist meine persönliche Meinung. So eine Stufung, eine Einstufung gibt es nicht in Deutschland. There's no such thing as the best university because all of them are at the superlative. Why are they at the superlative? Because to get into a university as a teacher, as an academic, as a faculty member, a PhD is a must. So what is that? PhD is a must is okay. I can do it at home. Because my professor knows 6 other professors. And at least one of them somewhere will dictate the thing to me. I'll write down my thesis, submit, pay him some money. And my thesis is complete. I'm a doctorate. 9. Das sowas funktioniert da nicht. A PhD supervisor in Deutschland heißt Doktorvater. He's the one who guides your thesis and helps you with the PhD, with the research. Dr. Vater or Dr. Mutter heißt das.
Yeah, sir, I have
Unfortunately,
I have experience in this because I
yeah,
have applied for the in Hamburg University
yeah,
for the PhD in economics field, but they deny my refusal because I don't have the particular test which they demanded, na. And for this test, it will need to be 1 or 2 years because
yes,
I have to study again.
yeah,
That I studied in India for 5 to 6 years and completed my dissertation here, as
mm,
well as with the
mm,
researches. But here they will count it at too low grade, whatever I have done in India.
yes, yes, because
Exactly.
I know how PhDs are awarded here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You know, yeah.
unfortunately, I had happened to be in the same teaching field,
Yeah.
and there lots of
They
things I don't
they they
agree
told me
with.
that you are. They told me that I am able to do, but there are certain condition. If you are very eager to do this from this university or other universities in Deutschland, but you have to fill these terms and conditions. If you fill that one, then you will have to 3 to 4 months of study. Then they will take exam. After that exam, I will have to study 1 more year. Then I will be entered in PhD level.
Yeah, yeah,
It will take a long time to enter in PhD level.
yes, that is true.
First of all, it is needed. It will be needed to do CSY.
Yes, and
Yeah,
the other thing is the PhD or the candidature is determined by the professor and not by the university clerk.
yeah, genau.
In
They will be
India, when
in.
you apply for admission, the university clerk decides whether you are
Yeah,
eligible or not.
yeah, you know,
Right? There,
because
the
I have
professor decides whether you are eligible. If the professor says yes, I will take you as a
team
candidate.
of professors. Team of
Yes,
professor, not a one professor. There are 6 to 7 professors. First of all, your
yeah,
document or your dissertation, old dissertation, like I have done in my MSc masters. It will be go to first, then second, then third, then fourth. Then they collectively
yeah.
decided, can I be eligible or can I do this in further
That,
way or
that's
no?
called a Prüfungsgremium. It's called a Prüfungsgremium,
Okay.
and it's a committee basically. So when I
Yeah,
said
it's a
professor,
committee.
it's a
Committee of
professor.
four or five peoples.
Yeah. So when I said professor, I'm generalizing by using one person for the whole lot.
Yeah.
This is called pars pro toto in stylistics. One for the whole lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the professor decides on your admission, and once he says yes or she says yes, you are in. Then this PhD, once you finish, this is the prerequisite for a job at a university as a teacher. Once you finish your PhD, you submit your thing. Your guide has no role in that. Dr. Vater remains a father. Dr. Mutter remains a mother. You will not be held by the hand. Every single word you write in your dissertation has come from your brain. Not a word of help is given. There will be plenty of encouragement, loads of encouragement, followed by aber. They will keep encouraging you. Was Sie hier geschrieben haben, ist wunderschön. So eine Gedanke, so eine Idee. Oh mein Gott, das ist wirklich super. Aber Sie müssen das noch einmal schreiben. Aber warum denn? Was ist denn los? Also können Sie mir mindestens einen Tipp geben, was da los ist? Moment. Also, wenn Sie das noch einmal lesen, das verstehen Sie selber. Noch einmal lesen. Und wir treffen uns also nach 2 Wochen um 3 Uhr an diesem Tag. Over, dismissed. Thank you so much. And you come out literally crying. You don't know where you're wrong. You don't know what to do because you've written it to the best of your ability. It's been rejected. So at the end, this PhD that you finish is your baby. And there is a public defense. A public defense is normally in an auditorium. Anybody can walk in and ask questions. Not just your subject people. So that public defense can last up to 5-6 hours. At the end of it, you know you have passed. Then you're congratulated. And you are a master of that subject, that topic. And you're respected the world over. And that's what makes a PhD candidate or studies in Germany so highly valued. A PhD from Germany. Oh, by the way, that title, DR, which comes after a PhD, the doctorate that you get, Dr. Phil, is part of your name by law. By law, it becomes your name. So you're no longer Monica, but you are Dr. Monica. That is your name in Germany, Dr. Monica.
Genau.
It's not a title. Whereas in India, it is a title.
It's only title.
But there it is your name, Dr. Monica Sharma. Frau Dr. Monica Sharma, if I have to address you formally. Frau Professor Dr. Monica Sharma. So is this.
Yeah, genau.
So it's a very tough thing. So only after that you go to a university to teach. So what is this best university? A best university, according to world standards, where there are many students, many faculties, many disciplines, and there is also this option of moving from one discipline to another. A smaller university does not have that many facilities. That's why it's lower ranked. Otherwise, academically, any university in Germany is the same as any other university in Germany. Don't look for ranking, please. Don't fall for that also. There are many agencies in India which tell you this is the best university. Please don't fall for that. And as far as research is concerned, I know what it means. My guide was a German lady, East German. That time Germany was still divided. I know there have been days when I have contemplated suicide. I should know that. My entire hard work chapter, my thesis was about 500 pages. My entire chapter was rejected. After giving me a huge piece of cake and tea and all those things to eat, she just handed me my chapter back. Please rewrite it again. And her husband, also a brilliant professor, he escorted me to the door of their apartment here. They were living and teaching here. You know my wife, so don't mind her, don't mind her. She's very nice, actually. And then on top of that, he cracks a joke. I have to live with her. Ha 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 ha. What about me, damn it? I've been sweating blood through the night, getting that entire chapter together, 100 odd pages, and I have to rewrite it without even knowing what I have to rewrite. So when I speak about methodology, that's what I'm proud of. My thesis research was on methodology of teaching German in India. I'm proud. Finally, when I did come out of it and I look back, I'm glad that she made me do that. Now I'm glad, but not that time. I felt miserable. Yeah, so that is the quality that they give you.
But sir, was
Yeah.
it accepted the second time?
It took me about 2 or 3 writings. Not all chapters. Some chapters she was not happy with.
Okay.
I had 5 chapters in that. Yeah.
Okay. Direct answer is submission or reappearing for exam in university is permitted. Kushi,
Yeah.
maximum of 3 times.
Okay.
And if you fail or if I fail in the third attempt also, why should I use you? then I am not permitted to appear fourth time for that particular subject throughout Germany. I
Throughout.
need to
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Throughout, yeah.
I need to change my
Throughout.
course. That's all because I'm
Oh my
declared
God.
I'm an idiot for the subject.
So, sir, were you applying for the university there?
Who, me?
Thesis was for what?
Here, in India.
Okay,
I was,
okay.
my studies are in India.
Okay. So the German lady was living here. Okay.
Yeah, she was living and teaching here, and I was doing my research with her. She was at this English and Foreign
Okay,
Languages
sir.
University. Yeah?
And
Okay.
again, adding one more, just fuel to the fire. Working with German ladies is literally
Oh.
miserable.
See,
That's my experience.
had she been a young lady, I could have taken her out for restaurants and dinner and so on. Even then, she would have still done the same thing. This lady
That
was
will not work out.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Let's segregate
It
clearly.
doesn't work. This lady was 60 plus that time. I still am in touch with her. She's like a grandmother to me. She's about 90 now. I visited her in Germany a few years ago, and I got a very warm welcome from her. I still got my cake.
They clearly differentiate our personal life and the professional life. They will not compromise.
Genau. So when you look at this Volkshochschulen, das war unser Thema hier. So, was sind diese Volkshochschulen? Literally translated, Volk, people, and Hochschule, people's colleges.
Yeah.
So, what is this concept, Volkshochschule? I can't give you an equivalent. We don't have such things in India. So how can I equate them with it's an ITI or it's this training institute? It doesn't work.
It's a totally different. Here is totally different than the India. Totally.
Genau. So, diese Volkshochschulen sind die bedeutendsten. Bedeuten?
Meant.
Was bedeutet bedeuten?
Meant. Meaning.
To me.
Meaning.
Bedeutend?
Meaning.
Meant.
Meaningful.
Meaning.
Bedeutendsten? Most meaningful, or here in this context, most important. Weiterbildungszentren. What is Weiterbildung?
Weiterbildung is again
Further education.
further education.
Correct. Absolutely. Well done. Well done. So they are further educational centers. Das Zentrum, die Zentren. Please note this. Bitte aufschreiben. The plural is different.
Zentren. Yeah.
Centrum, singular. Zentren, plural. So the most meaningful or most important further education centers for Erwachsene. Erwachsene?
Adult.
Adult. Adult.
Yeah, they are Erwachsene, die Erwachsenen. Now look at some of the courses which are available. Courses available for further education. There's a course called Computer 70 Plus. There's a Weiterbildungszentrum on their course here, Babysitter Diploma. Babysitter Diploma. Can you imagine?
So what is the Bedeutung?
Imagine I'm asking you because
जो
what's a babysitter?
जो बच्चे की देख रेख करता है.
It's the.
अच्छा उसका भी डिप्लोमा.
Yeah.
ओके ओके.
खुशी बाल काटने के लिए डिग्री होती है एक डिप्लोमा. Tomorrow you and I cannot open a hairdressing salon. You cut the hair of women and I cut the hair of men. नहीं चलेगा. Germany में we need it.
Yeah, you know.
एक paper चाहिए that we have gone through the course. And what is taught in that course? The texture of hair. What kinds of hair are there? How many kinds of hair are there? What is the scalp made up of? What is hair follicle? We learn the entire theory there. Everything about hair and hair cutting is learnt there. There is a theory and a practical exam, both. Oh, it's not like this. कल तक बाप काटता था, आज बेटा या बेटी काट रहे हैं. No way. So sowas funktioniert hier. Then there is a Heimwerker seminar. For home repair, people working at home or doing this kind of home repair jobs. It's called seminar, but it's a course. Look at the range that they have. What is an Existenzgründer seminar? Can you guess? What's his existence?
Existing.
Yeah,
Basic life. Yeah.
basic.
Existing.
What's his Grund?
Grounds.
Ground.
Grund.
Basics,
Gründer.
yeah.
Reason.
Yeah, one meaning. Here, Grund, also ground. Gründer. So you want to ground, you want to make your own existence. So you learn. Look here. Für das Existenzgründer-Seminar melden sich vielleicht Personen an, die sich selbstständig machen wollen. Selbstständig,
Stehen mit uns beiden.
Self-dependent.
self-dependent, self-reliant. So you apply to such a course, and that course gives you tips, hints, tricks, or whatever. How do you sustain yourself on your own or build up your own existence as a small job? See? So, like I just mentioned, I'm a little partial to this German education system. I love the freedom that a learner has. There is something for everybody. I must tell you something very interesting that happened to me at the university. Like I told you, the clerks, they decide that. I had once sent in an application of a student who had applied for a course to learn German at the university. The student said, "Sir, I don't have my high school, the minimum qualification is high school." So he said, "I don't have my high school certificate, but I have my PhD. Can I attach that?" I said, "Yeah, do it, attach it." Anyway, this is minimum requirement. Yours is PhD. So I attach the PhD, copy of the PhD that you have got, the degree. He attached it, the application was rejected, came back from the clerk saying his high school certificate is not there. He has not attached high school certificate, so he's not admitted. He has attached a higher degree. The clerk refused to acknowledge it. I was furious. I normally don't fight, but I'm aggressive. I had to be aggressive at the university. I went and shouted at the clerk and the supervisor. I said, what do you mean by this? So tomorrow, if I don't submit my class 10 certificate, you will assume that I have failed my class 12? Also, so funktioniert Indian. Leider. Okay, so here, I hope the audio works. We have Frank Seifert, look at this. 48 Jahre. Else Werner, 72 Jahre. Und Hannah Kramer, ein junges Mädchen, 15 Jahre. Okay, so let's try this. So, Lehrbuch. Yeah, it should work now. I hope it does. So, heute ist etwas über das System Bildung, Leben, Lernen in Deutschland. Das ist das Thema hier.
Kapitel 5. Alles will gelernt sein. Modul 1. Aufgabe 2.
Guten Morgen, liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer. Wie Sie vielleicht schon wissen, hat an der Volkshochschule das neue Semester begonnen. Seit einer Woche kann man sich für viele interessante Kurse anmelden. Ich habe heute 3 Gäste im Studio, die ihren Kurs bereits gefunden haben und 1- bis 2-mal in der Woche die Schulbank drücken. Aber vielleicht stellen sich unsere Gäste erst einmal kurz selbst vor.
Tja, guten Tag. Ich bin Hanna, ich bin 15 Jahre alt und noch Schülerin.
Mein Name ist Else Werner. Ich bin Rentnerin und 72 Jahre alt.
Und ich bin Frank Seifert und von Beruf Kaufmann.
Herr Seifert, beginnen wir mit Ihnen. Welchen Kurs besuchen Sie?
Ich habe mich für den Kurs Der gute Ton macht die Musik entschieden.
Und warum für diesen Kurs?
Ich arbeite jetzt schon sehr lange in einer großen Firma und habe den Wunsch, mich beruflich zu verbessern. Mein Chef hat mir empfohlen, einen Kurs für gute Umgangsformen im Berufsalltag zu besuchen. Er meint, es ist wichtig, sich immer kompetent und höflich zu präsentieren. Nur so kann der berufliche Aufstieg klappen.
Und was haben Sie bereits gelernt?
Die ersten Stunden waren schon sehr informativ. Jetzt weiß ich zum Beispiel, wie wichtig das Business-Outfit für eine höhere Position ist. Durch einen gepflegten und perfekten Auftritt kann man seine Persönlichkeit besser zur Schau stellen. Es stimmt nämlich, was der Volksmund sagt. Kleider machen Leute.
Das scheint ein interessanter Kurs zu sein.
Verstanden? Etwas, manches, alles.
Ich glaube manches.
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 Okay. So, welchen Kurs macht ihr? Was haben wir verstanden zunächst?
Musikkurs.
Musikos.
Nein.
Ja,
Is this a music course?
Ein Moment. Is it now? Oh. Ja.
Ja.
Ich spiele das noch mal ab.
Kapitel 5.
Ja.
Alles will gelernt sein. Modul 1. Aufgabe 2.
Guten Morgen, liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer. Wie Sie vielleicht schon wissen, hat an der Volkshochschule das neue Semester begonnen. Seit einer Woche kann man sich für viele interessante Kurse anmelden. Ich habe heute 3 Gäste im Studio, die ihren Kurs bereits gefunden haben und 1- bis 2-mal in der Woche die Schulbank drücken. Aber vielleicht stellen sich unsere Gäste erst einmal kurz selbst vor.
Tja, guten Tag. Ich bin Hanna, ich bin 15 Jahre alt und noch Schülerin.
Mein Name ist Else Werner. Ich bin Rentnerin und 72 Jahre alt.
Und ich bin Frank Seifert und von Beruf Kaufmann.
Herr Seifert, beginnen wir mit Ihnen. Welchen Kurs besuchen Sie?
Ich habe mich für den Kurs Der gute Ton macht die Musik entschieden.
Und warum für diesen Kurs?
Ich arbeite jetzt schon sehr lange in einer großen Firma und habe den Wunsch, mich beruflich zu verbessern. Mein Chef hat mir empfohlen, einen Kurs für gute Umgangsformen im Berufsalltag zu besuchen. Er meint, es ist wichtig, sich immer kompetent und höflich zu präsentieren. Nur so kann der berufliche Aufstieg klappen.
Und was haben Sie bereits gelernt?
Die ersten Stunden waren schon sehr informativ. Jetzt weiß ich zum Beispiel, wie wichtig das Business-Outfit für eine höhere Position ist. Durch einen gepflegten und perfekten Auftritt kann man seine Persönlichkeit besser zur Schau stellen. Es stimmt nämlich, was der Volksmund sagt. Kleider machen Leute.
Das scheint ein interessanter Kurs zu sein.
Ja.
Can I answer or let them answer? Then I'll add.
Vasu, 1 minute. Let's see whether they got it. They were misled by something here.
That's right. I'm keeping quiet. My comments are reserved.
Ja. Der Ton, der gute Ton macht die Musik. Also was
Ja,
für ein
genau.
Kurs ist, was für ein Kurs ist das? What kind of course is it? He described it very briefly.
Wie kann man die Persönlichkeit entwickeln?
Ja, gut. Wie kann man sich besser präsentieren?
Präsentieren.
Your own personal presentation. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, Vasu.
Yeah, including dressing. So how he can improve his communication, his presentations, presenting
Yeah.
himself, including dressing sense.
That's
So that
And
will definitely help
what
his
was the
salesmanship.
sehr gut?
Er
Also,
hat auch über Business Outfit gesagt.
business. Yeah.
genau. Also Business Outfit, das ist dann die Kleidung, ne?
Yeah.
Alles klar.
Kleidung and personal appearance. Gut gepflegt, hat er gesagt. Was bedeutet gut gepflegt?
Pflegen is to care.
Care.
Yes. So gut gepflegt.
Taken care of.
To take care well.
To take care of one's own personal hygiene. In
For
other words,
himself. Yeah.
yeah. So when you go into a class, as a teacher, for example, you should be decently dressed, not walking in sloppy shirts and slippers and trousers, or just walking into your night suit literally into the class and then scold a student for not wearing a proper dress. How can you do that when you yourself are not properly dressed? Or your hair is all over the place and you scold a student for not combing the hair. So that Pflege here means your personal appearance. Everything is neatly brushed, shirt buttoned up there. It's an iron shirt. I used to be very careful about this because I remember my German, that lady, the one who taught me, she insisted on this. Good gepflegt.
Just one point. In 1994, when I took my first salesman job, I had a training of 23 days. The first half day, the very first day, that was my first training, first job. First half a day was taught how to polish my shoes, how to wear, how to put knot on my tie.
Der Ton macht die Musik. Und du hast gesagt, kommunizieren mit anderen. Ja, das hast du gesagt, kommunizieren mit anderen. Aber welches Wort hat Frank hier benutzt? He didn't say kommunizieren. He used another word. Did anyone if you catch that? Umgang. He used the word Umgang. Der Umgang means interaction.
Umgangssprache, we say, yeah.
Yeah, that interaction. So with interaction with others. So that also was taught to him. How do you interact with people to create an impression? Of course, like Vasu pointed out, it boils down to that smallest bit. Tying a knot in the tie, this I learned at convent school, is an art. And there are different kinds of knots, by the way. We only know a single knot and a double knot.
Yeah.
That's a basic thing that is taught to us. But there are different ways you can tie a tie. You can knot a tie. And those knots also have different names. I don't remember all of them now.
That's what we think makeup is only for ladies. No, even men have,
Oh,
but we are not
men
focusing.
You have to be very perfect with that knot. There's one which comes in a triangular form. There's one with a broader base and a narrow end. There's one that comes in a squarish manner.
Yeah.
It's all in the art of the same time, mind you, the same time.
Yeah. So Joseph, I remember his words. Rim to rim, leather to leather, he said. My watch dial should match with my belt buckle, and my belt color should match with my shoe color. So rim
Now you
to rim.
understand? Der Ton macht die Musik, der gute Ton macht die Musik. So if you are into a profession, you should look like that person of that profession. And what was his proverb that he used at the end? Did you catch that? Something with Kleider?
Yeah. Kleidu marked man. Something he said.
Kleider machen Leute.
Right. That's what that meaning. I got the meaning. Yeah. Dress makes the man. Yeah.
Yes. And what does it mean in the looser sense? Can anyone explain? Kleider machen Leute.
Tamil we say all padi adai padi. So
simple example. Give me a simple example. Kleider machen Leute. Ein einfaches Beispiel. Who can give me a simple example? Lateral thinking people think laterally. How do you identify a policeman?
Uniform.
With a uniform.
How do you identify a doctor in a hospital?
The white coat.
Again, by a certain dress, as a white coat.
Dress.
Kittel, auf Deutsch heißt es Kittel.
Kittel.
Okay. How do you identify a Krankenschwester in the hospital?
Uniform.
See? Kleider machen Leute. Clothes make the people. So it's basically by clothes that you get identified. People assume you to be something just going by your uniform. If you wear that particular uniform, you're automatically considered to be that person, even though you're not. On the amusing side, ich habe das gemacht, zweimal, 2 different hospitals. Black trousers, white shirt, a file folder in the hand. I walked the entire hospital. Only one place, one security guard tried to stop me. Without looking at him, I told him, sit down, like this. So he just saluted and sat down. They assumed I was a doctor, and I was walking quite fast. I'd taken a friend of mine to the hospital, and I was looking for a specialist. I knew the general direction of where that room was, and they wouldn't have allowed me inside otherwise. So I just walked to the hospital. He was down with some slip disc, utter pain, doubled up, and no doctor would come and see him. So I said, I'll go and call him. So I walked into his room, knocked. He said, yeah, come in. So I walked in. He was sitting free. I told him, this is a problem. I introduced myself. And he came with me. But once the specialist comes out, the entire team also then comes. Just that white shirt. Oh, by the way, I also have a stethoscope and a BP machine at home. I could have taken that as well.
Even I have electronic thermometer also at home. Yeah.
Oh, that the doctors normally don't carry.
They don't carry.
Okay,
Yeah.
They don't carry that.
Steth they carry every time. Yeah.
That they do, but even the sphygmanometer, the BP, that also they don't carry.
Yeah.
That's gone now. In the olden days, they used to, but steth, yes. So this is the meaning here. So when you said, don't go by the title here. The title itself means if you make something, absolutely suited to something else, then it sounds like that. It looks like that. It feels like that. So that's why their gute Ton macht die Musik. This is a proverb, ein Sprichwort auf Deutsch. Und Kleider machen Leute, das ist auch ein Sprichwort. Okay. Now you got it? What he did? Hat diesen Kurs, ja, besucht. Der Kurs, die Kurse. So. Kurse. In diesen Kursen, Dativ Plural. Okay, und jetzt das zweite Interview.
Und Sie, Frau Werner, welchen Kurs haben Sie gewählt?
Wissen Sie, ich wundere mich über mich selbst. Früher habe ich nämlich gedacht, einen Computer will ich nicht. Wozu auch? So ein Gerät kostet nur Zeit. Aber ich habe meine Meinung mittlerweile geändert. Ich lese nämlich gerne Zeitschriften und in vielen Artikeln gibt es Links, die auf das Internet verweisen. Ich konnte da nie nachschauen. Das hat mich immer geärgert.
Und das haben Sie nun gelernt?
Natürlich, und nicht nur das. Ich kann jetzt E-Mails schreiben und verschicken und bin recht gut beim Surfen im Internet. Als nächstes möchte ich aber unbedingt lernen, wie man sich ein Fotoalbum anlegt. Ich habe so schöne Fotos aus dem letzten Urlaub. Die möchte ich allen meinen Freunden zeigen.
Dann werden Sie ein richtiger Profi.
Nun, das hoffe ich sehr. Einen Computer zu bedienen ist gar nicht so schwer und macht viel Spaß.
Also was hat sie gesagt? Ja, Leute, was hat sie gesagt?
Others, please. Yeah.
Sir, was war die Frage?
Was hat sie gesagt?
Sie hat gesagt, sie lese gern Zeitschrift
Ja,
Ein
und sie
Moment.
schicke.
Kushi. Yeah, others, please. Let us
Ja,
give. Yeah,
bitte.
yeah. Then we two join last. Others, please.
Ja, sie hat etwas gesagt, aber später hat sie andere Dinge gewählt.
aha.
Aber
Also,
es könnte nicht.
welchen Kurs hat sie besucht?
So yes, title bitte. Titel.
Welchen Kurs hat sie besucht? Was hat sie gelernt?
Etwas mit Computer.
Computer.
Jawohl, also
Mail
Was ist
schreiben.
die Titel? Bitte wählen Sie Titel. Ja. Computer 70 plus.
sie hat diesen Kurs besucht. Und hat sie das gern gemacht? Hat sie diesen Kurs gern besucht? Did she like it in the beginning?
Nein.
Nein.
Okay. Und was hat sie dann am Ende gelernt? First question.
He feels good and now feels
Auf
Spaß
Deutsch,
mit
auf Deutsch, Monika,
Computer.
auf Deutsch. Leider, auf Deutsch, bitte.
Ja, okay. Sie gefühlt gut und viel Spaß mit Computer.
Ja?
Aber die Frage ist, was hat sie gelernt?
Ja, das ist okay.
Nicht
Das kann ich
über
jetzt-
die
Mit Computer,
Gefühle.
ne? Mit Computer.
Computer was?
So, was alles hat sie gelernt? Was kann sie jetzt mit dem Computer machen oder tun?
Viel oder zwei oder drei besonderes Dinge she had notiert.
Ja, come on, the others. Yula, Anbarasi, Uma.
Now
Emails,
Kushi, please.
email
Yeah,
schicken,
super.
email,
Ja?
email schicken in Internet
Ja?
Ja.
Done.
Was noch?
and Foto Album for Urlaub.
Jetzt, ja, das ist interessant. Was will sie mit diesem Fotoalbum tun? Sie hat viele Fotos aus dem Urlaub. Sie hat viele Fotos. Und was möchte sie jetzt tun oder
Ja,
lernen?
Kushi. Ja.
Sir, sie würde gerne diese Fotos zeigen.
Zeigen und mitteilen mit einem anderen Freund. Ja.
Ja.
Schicken.
Sie will jetzt lernen, wie man diese Fotos organisiert vielleicht.
Ja, Update. Sie hat something gesagt.
Ja, gut. Und hat er jetzt diesen Kurs Freude gemacht?
Ja,
Oder ich kann
es
das
macht Spaß.
Spaß. Also das macht ihr Freude. It gives a lot of joy now. Was sagt sie? Ist
now
Computerlernen ein Problem? Ist Computerlernen ein Problem?
Zuerst hat gesagt, aber es ist nicht es ist nicht true, es ist
Nicht so
wahr.
schwer. Es ist nicht so schwer.
Ja.
Und Sie, Frau Werner, welchen Kurs haben Sie gewählt?
Wissen Sie, ich wundere mich über mich selbst. Früher habe ich nämlich gedacht, einen Computer will ich nicht. Wozu auch? So ein Gerät kostet nur Zeit. Aber ich habe meine Meinung mittlerweile geändert. Ich lese nämlich gerne Zeitschriften und in vielen Artikeln gibt es Links, die auf das Internet verweisen. Ich konnte da nie nachschauen. Das hat mich immer geärgert.
Und das haben Sie nun gelernt.
Natürlich, nicht nur das. Ich kann jetzt E-Mails schreiben und verschicken und bin recht gut beim Surfen im Internet. Als nächstes möchte ich aber unbedingt lernen, wie man sich ein Fotoalbum anlegt. Ich habe so schöne Fotos aus dem letzten Urlaub. Die möchte ich allen meinen Freunden zeigen.
Dann werden Sie ein richtiger Profi.
Nun, das hoffe ich sehr. Einen Computer zu bedienen ist gar nicht so schwer und macht viel Spaß.
Was bedeutet das Wort bedienen?
To serve.
How can you serve a computer? So give me another word.
Bedienen.
So bitte wiederholen Sie.
Also was bedeutet das Wort bedienen? Ein Computer zu bedienen ist gar nicht so schwer.
Benutzen.
Ja, operieren, if you take it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, bedienen here to operate. So you're
Sir, ich
operating.
habe eine
To work
Frage.
with.
Ja,
Sir,
ja.
sie hat etwas über ich sehe gerne nachschaue oder schaue gerne nach. Something with nach.
What was the context? Then you can understand
Sir,
that better.
yeah. So she was saying that she lese gerne Zeitschrift und Artikel. Und danach sie hat etwas über nachschaue gesagt. Ich habe das nicht verstanden.
Was bedeutet schauen, nachschauen?
Nachricht.
Nein, was
Schauen
ist schauen?
ist
Ich schaue,
Nachschauen.
Sie müssen sich unbedingt diesen Film anschauen.
To see.
schauen.
To see. Also schauen ist ein Synonym für
Watch.
sehen. Für sehen.
Yeah, sir, but nachschauen.
Wieder.
To have a look at
Okay.
something very carefully.
Okay.
It is not okay. It is. I thought it is wieder.
It's the same, no? Once again, carefully. Here, when you say nachschauen, you look at it something carefully. Now, I want to draw your attention to also something else. Sie hat einige Verben auf Deutsch so verwendet, vor allem solche Verben wie lernen. How do you read this word lernen?
Lernen.
Lernen.
How will you read this word?
Kursen
You read it.
lernen.
I want you to pronounce this word.
Lernen.
Lernen.
Kursen lernen. Man
Lernen.
in diesem Kursen lernen.
Okay. What about this?
Lernen.
How about this word?
Lernen.
Schulen.
Schulen.
Okay. Now, please pay attention to what she says, especially when it comes to this en at the end. She doesn't pronounce it the way you and I are doing it, which is not German.
Okay.
I'm doing this extra to help you understand the verb. Normally, they'll say defaults of Schulen, Schulen, len. The E in between merges. Same thing with lernen. The E is not very clearly audible. Please pay attention to the en parts and wir spielen das noch einmal ab und dann gehen wir auf das
Und Sie,
dritte
Frau
Audio.
Werner, welchen Kurs haben Sie gewählt?
Wissen Sie, ich wundere mich über mich selbst. Früher habe ich nämlich gedacht, einen Computer will ich nicht. Wozu auch? So ein Gerät kostet nur Zeit. Aber ich habe meine Meinung mittlerweile geändert. Ich lese nämlich gerne Zeitschriften.
Did you catch that?
Yes.
Zeitschriften. Zeitschriften. Is the E audible or does he say Zeitschriften? Look,
Ich
look.
lese nämlich gerne Zeitschriften.
Got it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right?
In
Weiter.
vielen Artikeln gibt es Links, die auf das Internet verweisen.
Verweisen. See, the E is not verweisen, verweisen. Zn. So,
Internet verweisen. Ich konnte da nie nachschauen. Das hat mich immer geärgert.
Und das haben Sie nun gelernt.
Natürlich, nicht nur das. Ich kann jetzt E-Mails schreiben und verschicken. Ich
schreiben.
bin recht gut beim Surfen im Internet. Als nächstes möchte ich aber unbedingt lernen, wie man sich ein Fotoalbum anlegt. Ich habe so schöne Fotos aus dem letzten Urlaub. Die möchte ich allen meinen Freunden zeigen.
Dann werden Sie ein richtiger Profi.
Nun, das hoffe ich sehr. Einen Computer zu bedienen ist gar nicht so schwer und macht viel Spaß.
Right? Did you catch the pronunciation? See, this is
Yes,
German.
But is there any logic? Where should we pronounce? Where should we hide?
Normally
Is there
the en at the end merges with the consonant before that. It normally merges with the consonant. So you have to use your feel for the language for this. I can't give you rules here, unfortunately. Ja, das kann ich, also nochmal bitte, nein, das will ich nicht schreiben. Nochmal will ich das nicht schreiben. Schreiben. There's nothing wrong in saying, das will ich nicht noch einmal schreiben. Das ist auch richtig. But for a German, that means you're a foreigner. Das will ich nicht noch einmal schreiben. The moment you say, das will ich nicht noch einmal schreiben, it's so natural for them to say, schreiben. The E is not schreiben. So you have to be very, very good with that audio part, that ear training. It's not difficult for us to reproduce these sounds. Once you do that, you'll sound more German and your speech will also increase. Your flow will go up. Die Volkshochschulen sind, see, if I read this out here, den Text hier, die Volkshochschulen sind die bedeutendsten Weiterbildungszentren für Erwachsene in Deutschland. Lesen Sie die Kurstitel aus dem Programmheft einer Volkshochschule. Was kann man in diesen Kursen lernen? Lernen. Lernen. I don't say lernen. It'll come slowly. Don't panic. Don't panic. But ear training. So listen to audios and then try to reproduce these sounds. Even when you are giving me a summary of this, you have to speak in that German manner. It's not necessary for you to try to talk like them word for word.
In der Runde ist Hannah.
Don't try to repeat or try to imitate them as is normally done in many of these call centers. Many of the call center people, they are taught to use a pseudo accent. Because they get calls from outside of India as well. So they try to imitate the pseudo accent. Unfortunately, that accent slips. As long as you speak the language clearly, it's enough for anybody to understand. Don't try to imitate the accent one-on-one. It's not okay. If you're comfortable and you can manage it, go ahead. I'll encourage it. But if you say, no, sir, that's difficult, don't imitate it. Speak like the normal way that I'm doing right now in terms of English. And read the text the same way. Also die Volkshochschulen sind die bedeutendsten Weiterbildungszentren für Erwachsene in Deutschland. Lesen Sie die Kurstitel aus dem Programmheft einer Volkshochschule. Was kann man in diesen Kursen lernen? Okay, no problem. Over a period of time, when you're more comfortable with language, then you go on to that imitating level. So, but whenever, unfortunately, I have to do that, I hate it, but I have to do it. And everything is now controlled by call centers. Das wisst ihr schon. And you have this guy on the telephone with a pseudo-American accent. So the moment that accent starts, I tell this person, hello, English, no English. I force that person to switch over to another language. So no, English, no. Hindi? हाँ जी, कहिए, हाँ, हिंदी में बोलो भैया. Because they mispronounce the words when they imitate an accent. That's very painful. And I can't encourage that because he'll be using the same wrong accent on the other person. Ja? So, okay, jetzt Hannah, die Jüngste.
Und unsere Jüngste in der Runde ist Hannah.
Ja, ich gehe einmal wöchentlich in den Babysitterkurs.
Wieso denn das?
Ich habe Bekannten von meinen Eltern angeboten, an bestimmten Abenden auf ihre Kinder aufzupassen, wenn sie zum Beispiel ins Kino oder zum Tanzen wollen.
Und was lernt man in so einem Kurs?
Also ich lerne, wie man Kinder beschäftigt, was man in Notfällen macht, wie man Erste Hilfe leistet und am Ende bekomme ich sogar ein Zertifikat.
Na, dann kann ja beim Babysitten nichts mehr schiefgehen.
Das hoffe ich auch. Und mit dem Zertifikat habe ich auch bessere Chancen, mir ein Taschengeld zu verdienen.
Dann drücke ich dir die Daumen. So, liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer, vielleicht haben Sie Lust bekommen, auch einmal im Programmheft zu schmökern oder direkt in der Volkshochschule vorbeizukommen. Die Öffnungszeiten des Anmeldebüros sind Dienstag und Donnerstag.
How much of this have you understood? She was, I think, the clearest of all of them.
Ich glaube, ich habe verstanden. Ich habe alles verstanden.
Ja, sie was really the clearest. Also, welchen Kurs besucht sie? Und warum lernt sie diesen Kurs? Warum besucht sie diesen Kurs? Und naja. So, wer möchte damit beginnen? Would like to say what she's doing. Hannah Kramer, 15 Jahre alt.
We have not heard from Rose or Priyamada today, so
I'm waiting.
it would be nice if they speak.
I'm waiting. Come on, people. Let's not name names. It doesn't look good. You have to volunteer on your own.
Babysitter course, sir.
Ja, also full sentence hier, please. Sie besucht.
Sie besucht Babysitter-Kurs
Ja.
und Kino, Tanzen.
Ja, also was lernt sie in diesem Kurs? Was lernt sie in diesem Kurs?
3 besondere Punkte.
What is it that the course teaches you or teaches her? So was macht sie hier? Come on, the others contribute, the others. Others, please. Priyamada.
Ich lernte Tanzen.
Nein.
Babysitter course.
No. She used the word Tansan, but it was misinterpreted. Yeah. It misled. Yeah.
Tanzen
Sie
schon,
hat
aber...
gesagt,
Ja?
ja, sie hat gesagt, was kann man in Unfallsituation machen?
Okay,
Super.
well done. Also erste Hilfe leisten.
Hilfe.
To offer first aid. To perform first aid. Okay, this is good. Yeah, Jeet. Anybody else can add to that? Priyamada? Yeah? Ja, Jeet. Go ahead.
Es war dritte Punkte. Aber schon sie hat gesagt, 2 andere Punkte. Erst.
Go ahead. No, it's okay, Vasu. The Reihenfolge ist nicht wichtig.
So, yeah, it's right. No, just I'm giving an hint. That's the third point, yeah.
Die zweite Punkte hat sie gesagt, wie kann man mit Kindern schaffen?
Ja.
Ja, etwas für Kinder.
Aha.
Und Geld verdienen auch.
That is the outcome. Okay.
Ja, so warum mag sie den Kurs?
Weil ihre Eltern ihre Eltern
Ja, noch einmal.
Und unsere Jüngste in der Runde ist Hannah.
Noch einmal.
Ja, ich gehe einmal wöchentlich in den Babysitterkurs.
Wie oft geht sie in den Kurs? Wie oft How often does she go to this course? Die Frage, meine Frage, wie oft besucht sie diesen Kurs? Das sagt sie hier.
Ich gehe einmal wöchentlich in den Baby.
Einmal wöchentlich.
Wöchentlich. O Umlaut.
Okay, wöchentlich.
Ja, also so ist das. Wöchentlich. So when you have an umlaut and the CH, it becomes sh. If it is without umlaut, and it is ch. Woche, not Woche or Woche, but Woche. Here with umlaut, CH is pronounced as sh. It's very easy to ascertain what is the pronunciation of CH. Think of the vowels. It comes before or after A. Oh my, I'll have to do this way. A, U, and O. It is pronounced as H. Example, machen, Buch, Loch. If it is A umlaut, U umlaut, or O umlaut, the pronunciation is, I like to go here, the sh sound. This one. A, that A, Hindi A, or A if you read it properly. Lächeln, smile, lächeln. U umlaut, Bücher, nicht Bücher, Bücher. O umlaut, Löcher, Löcher, holes. Wöchentlich. O umlaut, the CH becomes sh. It's very simple. You just look at the words and the consonant before that. You have learned much more than what I've given you as examples. Check out those words. So you see what comes before the say ha.
Brauchen und Brotchen.
Yes, that is AU. A and U. H.
So vowel 3 ही होते हैं ना जर्मन में?
9-5. A, IOU.
English वाले भी. Okay.
Same.
Okay.
A, E, O, U.
Okay.
5 Vokale und 3 Umlaute. 5 plus 3. Also 8. So just pay attention to that. It becomes easier. So noch einmal. Little clear.
Ja, ich gehe einmal wöchentlich in den Babysitterkurs.
Wieso denn das?
Ich habe Bekannten von meinen Eltern angeboten, an bestimmten Abenden auf ihre Kinder aufzupassen, wenn sie zum Beispiel ins Kino oder zum Tanzen wollen.
This is what misled you. Sie hat Bekannten von ihren Eltern und sie haben diesen Leuten gesagt, ich passe auf ihre Kinder auf, wenn sie ins Kino gehen oder wenn sie tanzen gehen. So she told these people, I look after you.
Sie wollen gebieten.
Yeah. So I look after the children when you go to a cinema or when you go dancing. When you go dancing. So if you listen carefully, the context becomes clear. See.
Auf ihre Kinder aufzupassen, wenn sie zum Beispiel ins Kino oder zum Tanzen wollen.
Und was lernt man in so einem Kurs?
Also ich lerne, wie man Kinder beschäftigt.
Wie man Kinder beschäftigt.
To engage children.
So how do you keep them busy? Yeah?
Busy.
Wie man Kinder beschäftigt. Beschäftigen. to involve, to keep busy.
Was man in Notfällen macht.
Jeet, das war deine Antwort. Ja, was man in Notfällen macht, Notfall, emergency case or emergency, der Notfall. So, was man in Notfällen, Dati Plural, macht.
Wie man Erste Hilfe leistet.
Wie man Erste Hilfe leistet. How one administers, gives, offers, performs First Aid, Erste Hilfe.
Und am Ende bekomme ich sogar ein Zertifikat.
Am Ende bekomme ich sogar ein Zertifikat. Not the accent. Not ich bekomme ein Zertifikat, sondern Zertifikat. That is that flow. That is that German accent. That is the German melody.
Na, dann kann ja beim Babysitten nichts mehr schiefgehen.
Das hoffe ich auch.
Was ist schiefgehen? Dann kann es ja beim Babysitten.
Na, dann kann ja beim Babysitten nichts mehr schiefgehen.
Everything can go wrong.
Ja, nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can.
Ja, beim Babysitten kann ja nichts mehr schiefgehen. Also
und am Ende bekomme ich sogar ein Zertifikat.
Na, dann kann ja beim Babysitten nichts mehr schiefgehen.
See? That nothing can go wrong with babysitting. It's such a simple job. But it's not, huh?
Das hoffe ich auch. Und mit dem Zertifikat habe ich auch bessere Chancen, mir ein
C-H-A-N-C-E.
Chance.
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 Right? Give me the German word for this.
Gelegenheit.
Möglichkeit.
Gelegenheit.
Gelegenheit.
Gelegenheit oder Möglichkeit. But Chance, it's a French word. Don't read it with the English pronunciation. Da habe ich mehrere Chancen. Nein. The normal Faustregel for foreign words is you pronounce them the way they are pronounced in the original language. Which is why we say restaurant and not restaurant. It's a French word, restaurant.
Recherchieren.
Ja, recherchieren. Recherche. So here, Chance. Sh and then on. French, Chancen. Ja?
Ich auch. Und mit dem Zertifikat habe ich auch bessere Chancen, mir ein Taschengeld zu verdienen.
Dann drücke ich dir die Daumen. So, liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer, vielleicht haben Sie Lust bekommen, auch einmal im Programmheft.
Ja. Got it?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
one more word. There's a word coming up here. I want you to listen to it carefully.
Taschengeld.
So, liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer, vielleicht haben Sie Lust bekommen, auch einmal im Programmheft zu schmökern.
Schmökern. Was ist das Wort? Schmökern.
Schmökern.
Im Programmheft zu schmökern. Was ist ein Programmheft?
Menu card, program menu. Program diary.
Yeah.
Program notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, brochure.
Ja, Broschüre. Umlaut. Ne? Eine Broschüre, ein Programmheft ist eine Broschüre. Und ihr könnt auch in diesem Programmheft, in der Broschüre schmökern. Yes, from here.
Highlights of our brochure oder
No,
I can
Sie
say,
können das schon schmökern. Also, ja, okay, das gibt's. Oh, dieser Code gibt's auch. Oh, schön. So,
To turn.
Nein, also mal so gehen. Aha. Schmökern. To browse, to go through. Yeah, to go through a program heft, to browse through. It's the same word that is there in browse in computer language.
Surfan.
Surfan.
Yeah, that is for Zofen, but you don't surf a book. No? You leaf through a book. You browse through a book, or you leaf through a book. Don't get confused here. A page in a book is called a blatt. Yeah, I'll have to give that to you here. A page in a book is called blatt.
Das Blatt.
Yeah. Und plural?
The blatter.
The Blatt.
Blatt. What is the other meaning of the word blatt?
Leaf.
Leaf.
Which leaf?
Leaf from any tree, any plant.
Absolutely. So a leaf for any tree or any plant is also Blatt und Blätter. So individual paper in a book is called a leaf. Then what is Seite?
It's page.
Seite is page. This is the correct language. So when you talk about this Blättern, and we talk of, moment, I'll give you the verb here. What is the Blättern? Come on, that's part of it.
To leave.
Ja, also ich blättere durch das Buch. Was bedeutet das?
Yeah. Browsing through the book.
I'm browsing through the book. And what is this going on here? What is that here? Here. Was ich jetzt tue? What is this here? So, when ich das sowas mache. Computer language, what is this?
Scrolling.
Scrolling. Well done. This is the same word in German. Blättern. This is not Blättern. This is modern language. Whereas earlier in a book, you turn the page over. Page turning was called Blättern. And there's also a verb which comes with this. Same usage in terms of vocabulary building. Durchblättern. Das ist trennbar, bitte. Put that here. Can I? Is it possible? How do I put a vertical line here?
Yeah, you take that line first for the. Yeah, you can put it here.
No, it's an
No, you
angle.
can draw. No, then go to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a draw line will be there. Draw table.
No. I think I'll have to
No,
take
that
it
will be a
from here
table.
itself. I have to take it from here and then straighten it. Got it.
Yeah, that will work. You can draw a straight line also.
Yeah, got it. So this is a separable verb. Was ist Durchblättern? Also, hier ist ein Heft. Also
To leave throughout the book.
To leaf through the book. I leaf through the book. I just keep turning the pages over. And this is the kind of instructions that we used to get sometimes. Einmal durchblättern bitte und sagen, worum es geht hier. Was für ein Buch ist das? Please leaf through the book and tell me what kind of book it is. So, a new word for us today. Schmökern. Das kann man auch sagen. Schmökern. Oder blättern. So, along with this, other words to add to our vocabulary. So, we'll take this up tomorrow. We'll continue with this tomorrow. It's very clear the audios. Please go through them once again. So Hauser and noch einmal eine Bitte. I don't like to call out names and say, why don't you say something or you say something? Because one, I find it very awkward, as we are all adults, to point fingers at someone and say, why don't you speak? I would love it if all of you on your own sich anmelden, say, na, ich sage, ich spreche. Take your time, but please do speak. Learning how to speak properly comes only when you speak yourself. It's like swimming.
Sorry if I have spoiled your flow.
Not at all.
Because
if I want to learn to swim, I have to get into the water. And also for speaking, it's the same. Theoretically, I know swimming. Theoretically, I can describe every stroke of swimming to you and how it is to be done. At what angle your ankle must be, your toes must be, but that doesn't help me in the water. My theory doesn't. So similarly for flow, please speak. Don't be afraid. Please do not be afraid. Just go ahead. I mean, I would like to point out people here for a simple reason. One, to encourage them and also to boost your confidence. Vasu, Khushi, Jeet, and to a certain extent Monica, they just go ahead and speak. Right or wrong, it doesn't bother them now. They speak. So please, you also, all of you, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Because believe me, all of us are in the same boat. In the sense of making mistakes. All of us are in the same boat. So the kind of mistakes that somebody has made, the same kind of mistake we would also be making. So don't let that prevent you. I'm afraid of making mistakes. If you're afraid of making mistakes, then you can never learn. It's like, trying to talk about a sport, I'm afraid of losing. So then never play that sport, no? Or never do anything which puts you off that. So please speak. I mean, take these three for the moment. And believe me, age and gender has nothing to do with it. Khushi is very young, so she doesn't care whether she makes mistakes or not. Vasu is also 40 plus, so he also doesn't care whether he makes a mistake. Don't look at that from that point of view. So please, it's just to help you out, guys. And I don't like to point out, although Rose was important or the Priyambada was important, I don't want to point fingers. Just say, ja, ich möchte etwas sagen. Fine, stop. You say your sentence, give your opinion or whatever to that thing, and then we continue. And that's how
from my point also, I mentioned their name just to encourage them. Sometimes we need some spark, some kick.
Yeah, but also amongst you, it is okay. But when when the teacher starts pointing fingers, you speak, speak. Yeah. I find it very awkward.
I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So, and come on, it's a question of learning together. No? That's the whole thing.
Even let it be a mistake. Let us have some fun. What is wrong in it? If you don't have fun in the class, then where we are going to have it?
And I can't teach very seriously also. So please go ahead and speak. Don't be afraid. And remember, speaking will be better learned when there's a partner. Alone, so Hauser, when you listen to the audio and then reproduce that, you will not be able to hear your mistakes. Because you will hear what you speak and you don't know whether it's right or wrong. So whereas in a group here, somebody can correct you, and that includes me, and tell you, look, that is how it is pronounced. Like I corrected Khushi. She spoke out the word wöchentlich. I said, no, it's wöchentlich. And that gave us an opportunity to see the rule. When do we say sh? When do we say sh?
Sure.
Yeah. So please don't hesitate.
Now there are 3 teachers waiting out of my room to correct my pronunciations today, or the mistakes what I have done.
Good.
They-
Good.
we are going to have our breakfast, so that will be the topic for them to make fun out of me during breakfast. Oh, you said like this. How can you speak like this?
Tell them it's a dialect. They don't know.
Uh, don't you feel shy? They asked. I said, no. Why should I feel shy? You should feel shy. You are overhearing my talk.
Shyness doesn't help. It doesn't help.
It's fun at our home. So dining
Yeah,
table
but
is for fun.
it's also a natural tendency for many of us not to speak. Because when you're a child and don't speak, the parents are worried. My God, the child is not speaking. Once you start speaking, they ask you to shut up. Keep quiet.
Keep
Don't
quiet.
speak. And this goes on throughout school. School, you're not allowed to speak in a class. Keep quiet. You want to say something? No, keep quiet. So all our
Just
lives,
listen.
we are encouraged not to speak.
Just listen.
Yeah. Although here, I want you to speak. Listening, of course, but I want you to speak. So please do. Huh?
So,
Yeah,
so
Monica.
welche Audio Nummer ist für heute
Das ist
Aufgabe?
30, glaube ich.
Von Lehrbuch, ne?
Ja, das ist im Lehrbuch. 30,
danke.
31 und 32. Hast du das
Danke.
Lehrbuch bei dir, Monika?
Sir, in PDF, aber nicht in...
Ja, die Nummern sind im PDF. Ne? Auf
Ja,
Seite 76,
ja, genau.
auf Seite 76, page 76.
Ja.
The audio numbers are mentioned. In a worst case scenario, you can always go there. Das ist Lektion 5.
Ja.
You can check there also. This is 30, 31,
Ja, danke.
32. 30, 31 und 32.
Ja, genau, Sir. Danke, Sir.
So make points, make notes as to what they have done. It's just to help you and be strict with yourselves. Nur einmal hören. So beim ersten Hören, wie viel Information habt ihr gesammelt? How much information have you collected? Then make a second column. Add to that information on the second listening. Then take one more. Add to that. So how many efforts did it take for you to complete the entire matter? 3, 4? No problem. No problem. The further we go, the better we will be. And most of it you should be able to get on the first hearing itself. You will. This is lesson 5. We have another 15 lessons to go.
Danke, Sir.
Okay? So,
Ja, Sir.
wenn es keine Fragen mehr gibt, dann verabschieden wir uns für heute.
Ja.